This is a bedtime story that I wrote for my children. Once upon a time, in the Land of Oze, I woke from a half-doze to find the emperor with no clothes. Pinocchio's nose began to grow, so I had to go. I left the circus and commenced to the show that the androids had inside of their magic box. No provocative thoughts, I took off my shoes and socks and escaped through the zoo amidst the honks and shrieks and squawks of mechanized societies and duplicated thoughts. You see, the only civil citizens are clones of robots. I saw the caged creatures, mind monsters, and the like, with barcodes like my own and plastic shackles crowned with spikes. My feet began to hurt, so I hopped onto a bike, went from the jungle to the forest, where I sat on a rock to write, and as my mind melded with the paper, the truth was written. Then along came an old man, coughing and spitting. He walked with a cane in his right hand, his left was lame, and then he started saying, "Stop that! It is forbidden to place the truth in things as weak as words." I said, "Sir, you sincerely sound absurd." "Sit on the curb, Herb. Knowledge can't be confined to verbs," is what he said to me as he sniffed, and then he snorted. Every step knowledge takes inside this world, it grows a little more distorted." And then his eyes boggled, face twisted and contorted. He tugged his ear and disappeared, and I pondered what he reported, that maybe the only thing that's real is what is in the mind, not in a cage or in a box or in a book to find, and maybe real truth can be held but not confined in a realm that's only held by the bars of space and time. So I stood up from my rock so I could walk in a straight line through the grass between the trees from the world I'd left behind. I looked to the sky, began to cry, was all this my creation? How did I live for so long without this revelation? I walked slow in meditation of my newfound elation. I thought about the Land of Oze and the devastation of the nation. In this contemplation I came upon a cave where the glyphs upon the wall told of things and spoke of slaves to the world of the jaded mass. Twinkies! If they behaved, they live a life they didn't like until they reached the grave. But then one day a voice did say, "Don't play and entertain these knaves. You act like clowns and you're still held down, pretending being brave." So they rose up and won. What was done, the same system existed, but now the smoking gun was held by the young, and the old methods persisted. You see, a rose by any other name is always going to smell the same. They didn't understand the plan was not part of the game that they were playing. They grabbed the reins and drove their golden chariot down the drains. And when their cities fell, their buildings crumbled and forgotten, the seeds were sown, the crop was reaped, to find their fruits were rotten. They'd found respect in their progression, not seeing how far behind they'd really gotten. And that's when I turned and walked away, slow and far and without stopping, back to the Land of Oze, where all the robots I saw out shopping were intruding unreal doors, but never knocking to be let in, so never welcome. So I tried to tell them what I seen. I tried to help them in avoiding following a failing system, but they did less listening the more I did my yelling. My emotions started melting before my body fell into itself, asleep on the couch at my owner's house, just a dreaming cat waking up, yawning, about to catch a mouse. Good night, kids.